everybody, it's Zazu Siosi, physical therapist, here with your Movement Minute. So today we are going to talk a little bit about what are just some exercises that you can do to try to optimize the muscles that help you breathe and just optimize your breathing. Again, breathing is something that we do about 20,000 times a day, and you want to make sure that that system is working well, because that is how we are able to really get oxygen to all of the tissues in our body that need it, and we're also able to get all of the waste products out of our system as well, and it's really essential to life. We talked last week a little bit about what is a kind of like a breathing self-assessment that you can do. And so we talked about putting, one hand on your chest, one hand on your tummy, looking at what your body does with shallow breathing, what your body does with deep breathing. We talked about putting your hands up high on your actual rib cage. Again, shallow breathing, deep breathing. Are you getting lateral expansion of the rib cage? Is it not moving very much? And from there, you can start to work with that. Are you more of a belly breather? Are you more of a rib cage, accessory muscle breather? And some of these things can be influenced if you have an underlying respiratory condition. But certainly, some of these things can be optimized whether or not you have a respiratory condition. One thing we can do is basically start to work in the ways that your body isn't as good at. So if you are more of a belly breather, and by that I mean when you breathe, you pretty much only expand through your abdomen and your rib cage really doesn't move very much at all, then that means we need to look at your rib cage, and we need to look at how can we expand a little bit more through the rib cage and use that muscle group a little bit more so that the entire system is working together and it's not just dominated by one part of the system or the other. So you can do this with several different tools or different types of strategies, but what I like to start with is literally putting your hands on your rib cage and taking some deep breaths. And what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to push your ribs out into your own hands. Okay, so it's like your hands are what you're aiming for, and you're really, when you take a big deep breath, you're trying to push your ribs out into your hands, expanding the rib cage. Again, kind of working off of that concept that we talked about last week of the 360-degree breathing. So your rib cage should expand, front and back and side to side. So you can have your hands. You can just hold your hands there and try to push out. What I find a little bit helpful with the hands is actually give yourself some resistance. So kind of push in with your hands and then try to resist your hands with your rib cage and push out against your hands. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you can, even with a common item like a scarf, you can put the scarf around the rib cage. And again, you want to make sure you're up here, for women it's right around underneath the bra line, close to the bra line. And for men, again, more of the middle of the abdomen. So you have a scarf here. You can pull it tighter. You can let it looser. You can leave it loose enough to where you just kind of feel it in that area. You can pull it tight, giving yourself, again, some more resistance. And then you're going to breathe against that resistance. And then as you exhale, I would have you also kind of follow down with the scarf with some resistance. So take a deep breath in, expand through the ribs, kind of pushing out, stretching the scarf. And then as you exhale, let the air out. Almost pull with your hands as your rib cage is coming back down. And that gives you, pre-stretch or pre-stimulation prior to that next expansion, which can sometimes get those muscles to kind of click and get them to work a little bit better. So this is like a scarf, not stretchy, definitely is going to provide more resistance than your hands, and it's also going to provide a little bit, greater surface area as far as 360 degrees, because it's literally wrapped around you 360 degrees, versus your hands are really just like on the sides. So then the last thing is this tool here. So this is from a brand called Rock Tape. They are pretty famous for their kinesio tape or their athletic tape, but they have a whole bunch of other really cool tools too. So this is a stretching strap. It has little loops in it, but I like it because it's stretchy. So again, it provides a little bit of a different type of stimulus to the area that we're trying to work with. So same deal. I basically put it around the rib cage, and I'll provide some resistance for it, all right? So again, you can see it's kind of close to, as females, the bra line, and then in males, again, very middle of the rib cage. So, same deal. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna feel the strap itself moving with you, and that really helps to increase the connection from your brain to all of the different nerve receptors that basically tell the muscles what to do and tell you where your body is in space, so that your muscles can perform better. Because remember, we're doing these exercises for the people that need to optimize through the rib cage. If you're already good with the rib cage, it's kind of a fun thing to do, a bit of a different type of stimulus to the area that we're trying to work with. So, same deal. I basically put it around the rib cage, and I'll provide some resistance for it, all right? So again, you can see it's kind of close to, as females, the bra line, and then in males, again, very middle of the rib cage. So, same deal. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna feel, the strap itself moving with you. And that really helps to increase the connection from your brain to all of the different nerve receptors that basically tell the muscles what to do and tell you where your body is in space, so that your muscles can perform better. Because remember, we're doing these exercises for the people that need to optimize through the rib cage. If you're already good with the rib cage, it's kind of a fun thing to do, but maybe if you are already good through the rib cage and maybe you're more of a belly breather, we're going to do a different type of exercise to help to optimize your entire system. So remember, we're not saying that one way is better than the other. What I'm saying is that you need to be able to do it all of the ways, and you need the whole system to work together.
Tune in next week to find out an exercise if you notice that you are more of a belly breather. See you next time.